thank you for talking to us about the animation part. We'd like to talk about the manga. Please explain to us how that came about.
Right. Uh, we felt that we were incomplete without that piece of the puzzle. So we started looking for someone to collaborate with. Part of the reason had actually been to provide our audience with a little more insight into the story and the backstories of the characters and so on. So when we came across Sugihara-san's work, we were very much impressed. And what we loved about him is this very distinct style, much different from how the film was done, and but a very expressive one at the same time. So we engaged him. Sugihara-san, like many mangakas, he was like a very quiet person, someone very much within themselves, pensive, and a very low profile guy, like an extremely appealing guy. But you know, it was hard to know him better, just because of the introverted nature of the manga work. Like most manga artists that I ever met, this is not that many, but the ones that I had the fortune to know are like very within themselves, in their own world, like clammed up in a way. And they're also very specific people in their private lives. So I couldn't say that we worked very closely together, or that there had been very much discussion. Discussion is not necessarily like language, is not necessarily the comic book artist's strong suit more often than not. But I do recall clearly how, having seen the film and talked to us, and having read the story, leafed through the reference materials, Enka-san came up with suggestions how he would modify the storyline and some of the characters. And I must tell you in all earnestness that to this day I do regret having rejected many of them, as I suppose just the solidity of our idea of the film had been such, our passion for the material, the years that we spent creating First Squad, ultimately, to a certain degree, we became captive to these notions, and that narrowed our view. I mean, if that were to happen to me today, with 10 years have gone by in the interim, I would have been much more open-minded to what he had suggested, and I would have supported like a further deviation from the film storyline and the characters. But still, we took some on board, and also due to the nature of this type of production, this type of work, as an author, not the artist, as someone who wrote up the story, created the characters, we knew by then, we didn't know the start, but by then we knew already that we're supposed to be stepping back at some point in time and letting the mangaka do their job in what they call the black box mode. So Sugihara-san went into the black box mode, and what came out was absolutely brilliant. as we saw it. I mean, we don't know what others will say. But in the meantime, in Russia, where the book had survived 2 editions by now, it's been received very well.
What is your advice on just your experience, just to make your original concept an authentic manga, an authentic anime, when you're not Japanese or
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I think I do. Austin, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really a hardliner. I think freedom is a pre-requirement for artistic expression. Whereas I respect and value the canon, the way things should be, I feel that especially being not Japanese, it is only beneficial to let your own cultural features influence your work. And that would, to me, that would actually, allow better distribution in your own country, for example, where whereas when you try and keep your work strictly manga-like or anime-like, or use something that is called anime style or manga style, you actually put yourself at a major disadvantage, where you have to compete with authentically Japanese artists who have the benefit of like an immediate connection to their culture and the market. So to me, the more the merrier, and I feel that synthesis, amalgamation, a mashup, maybe even at times, is always a healthy and a productive tendency. That's my take on our Western attempts at manga. Whereas I see these days an increasing number of non-Japanese artists who become very good at manga, and they also start being recognized in Japan, as far as I hear. But I suppose these are very isolated, select cases.